Major global currencies have suffered massive debasement over the past decade. And this is why we need Bitcoin. You can see for yourself Japanese yen, negative 29%, British pound, negative 34%, euro, negative 38%, and US dollar, negative 46%, of course, Chinese yuan. So this really gives you a better understanding, why Bitcoin and, digital assets are so popular because people are starting to realize that, fiat is not the store of value because, of course, over time it goes down. And you can see this for yourself. This is a perfect example right in front of us. And look at this, I totally agree with this. Fiat currencies just can't keep up with inflation. Bitcoin scarcity makes it a game changer, and it's going to make it a game changer as time goes by. As halving happens, the reward gets cut in half. So the demand is already outweighing the supply. So imagine with the next halving, what's really going to be happening. So those are factors that not a lot of people focus on. But welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel, to the XRP holders. Over the course of the last 1 hour, we are starting to see the market waking up slowly but surely going into Tuesday morning, which again is always nice to see. Looking at XRP's price, $2.30. Let's give it a refresh live. Yeah, $2.30, down 1.5% in Bitcoin comparative. Market cap at 134.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about $1.8 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I wanted to talk about this, and I find this really comical in my opinion. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are on the same page. So JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says the company is allowing clients to buy Bitcoin despite him not being a fan of BTC. Quote unquote, "I defend your rights to buy Bitcoin, go for it." So no one cares if he's a fan or not. He's obviously talked down on BTC quite a bit over the course of the last few years, and here he is. JP Morgan now is allowing clients to buy Bitcoin. Do you really understand how big of a deal this really is? Not a lot of people understand this. And why do you think he's saying he's not a fan in public? Does he think people are going to get spooked out? The biggest asset manager is going crazy over Bitcoin. Hedge funds are going crazy against Bitcoin. The entire world is going crazy against Bitcoin. Do you think, what he has to say has anything to do with people getting spooked out? Absolutely not, because those are long days gone. They're behind us. Those days where people like him would come out and talk negative about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin would tank, because now. Why do you think he's allowing his clientele to get Bitcoin? Do you think he's just being a Mr. Perfect, where it's just his clients getting access to digital assets and them not benefiting? They're definitely benefiting out of this. They're gonna get obviously a piece of the pie, and that's what they want to do. I'm sure he regrets taking a look back at, regardless of if he's a big fan of BTC or not. I'm sure if he's just taking a look at the last 5 years, understanding how crazy this asset class has evolved. I'm sure he is obviously thinking about this day in, day out. I would, if I was him, I would too. But let me know your comments down below what you think about this, because this is something that I find quite funny. So Circle has denied reports about its potential acquisition talks with Ripple and Coinbase and said Circle is not for sale. Our long-term goals remain the same. They might be saying this, maybe this is the reality, or maybe there are some NDAs that are signed, which of course cannot be publicized. So that is that. Look at this though. Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson thinks Ripple will be better custodian than Coinbase, and I could not agree more with that, because of course Ripple has made sure, even though Coinbase has been in the market, it has a market presence, one of the largest market presence in crypto, has built up the image that it has for itself. But what Ripple is really doing day in, day out, and especially with the regulation that's coming towards the crypto industry, I think it's pretty much set in stone for a potential takeover in the next few years or even decades to come. Now look at this. Ripple equals an institutional favorite thanks to its partnership with major banks and financial institutions. Again, you can see Ripple is Ripple is another institutional favorite thanks to its partnerships with major banks and financial institutions, while XRP token could see as a competitor to Bitcoin. There's no doubt that the XRP ledger and RippleNet can potentially transform cross-border payments. This is what we've been talking about on a regular day-to-day basis. And XRP equals deflationary, which means XRP tokens cannot be mined and its quantity will constantly decrease, and everything that exists is in a limited amount and is actively used becoming more expensive. Therefore, with the growth of the network, the XRP price will increase significantly. XRP, of course, is going to be used as liquidity purposes on the XRP ledger. And of course, XRP ledger is not at the levels where you would want, things to get like crazy, where you're using XRP as a native token to be used as liquidity. But that's where the potential lies. And that's where the excitement really is. But look at this, shout out to Crypto Inside UK. Don't forget, Ripple are the only crypto company that have a full payment license in the UAE. And now we have tokenized land in one of the fastest growing economies in the world on the XRPL, which of course is in the Middle East. Yet people still try and cycle the Ripple just dump XRP to, line their pockets. Again, this is quite funny, and I totally agree with Crypto Inside UK. But let's take a look at, what's really happening with the price. Look what has happened with the dominance over the last few hours. I would say the last hour, the last few minutes, actually, not even the last hour. You can see dominance has pulled down quite sharply and is continuing to pull down. While Bitcoin, I think, has seen a bounce. You can see, Bitcoin is pretty much claiming back up to this $109,000. Maybe at the time of you watching this update, we're already above 110. So that's that. Obviously, we're coming out of a long weekend. If you're looking at XRP's price, let's give it a refresh live. XRP's price, not Solana. We don't need that chart. We need the XRP's chart. So there we have it. So XRP's price did see a bounce as well. We're currently sitting at $2.31 almost. Obviously, a lot of resistance around this range. Keep an eye out on BTC. If Bitcoin pushes up to 110 and dominance pulls down even more, I think this could really push XRP's price into the 23.6 fib zone quite fast, because that itself is only a move of about 11.5%. So we'll see what happens. We're going to take it one step at a time. Let me know down below what you guys think. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.